The United States, the death toll now stands at 21,408. Folashade Ogunkeyede, a resident in the United States, joins me now via Skype from Queens in New York to share her thoughts on this rising figure. Good to have you on the news at 7. A really difficult time for the United States now, recording about the second highest deaths after Italy, and most of the deaths we understand are occurring in New York. Now, give us a sense of how Americans are dealing with this devastating situation.
We're taking it day by day. First, I would like to wish everyone and say that, a new tomorrow's coming. But all we can do is take it day by day and to prevent individually and collectively ourselves from getting the virus and spreading it. So I myself, I stay in as much as possible. I don't leave the house unless I'm to. And, we take measures. I wear masks, we wear our gloves. As we go about our daily chores for those who do have essential work classification. So it's very difficult being in New York, and every day the numbers are increasing and increasing, and you become more and more worried, but you have to hold strong to your faith. So I myself, I stay in as much as possible. I don't leave the house unless I'm to. And, we take measures. I wear masks, we wear our gloves. As we go about our daily chores for those who do have essential work classification. So it's very difficult being in New York, and every day the numbers are increasing and increasing, and you become more and more worried, but you have to hold strong to your faith and know that, if you do the right thing, you will see a change at some point. The infection will start decreasing.
And let's look at what the United States president had hoped to do a while earlier. He hopes to lift the lockdown next month. Do you think that is perhaps the right decision to make at this time, knowing the severity of cases, which has risen to more than 500,000?
I don't think at this time we can have that clear of a picture. It's always good to be optimistic, to give people hope. So people are looking forward to the lifting of the lockdown. But I think that at this time, we have to see if the curve is indeed flattening. So I think that hopefully he'll rely on his specialists and his experts that will give him advice when it is the appropriate time. But I don't see that currently as it stands.
And give us a sense of how you're dealing with this lockdown in your area, because you've just mentioned, you're having to deal with staying at home for a longer period. Just tell us how you're able to cope with staying at home for longer hours, not being able to go outside and do your normal, usual routine. How has it been like for you?
You have to tap into your faith. You definitely have to tap into your faith, because even though I'm not going outside, the information comes to me through news networks and social media, and it becomes a bit overwhelming, and it can be very scary because it went from just numbers on a screen to then knowing people who have relatives that have passed. And not only have they had relatives that have passed, but now their other relatives are infected because they were in close proximity to those relatives. So this is a time to really tap into your faith. And then you also do need distractions. You can't sit in front of the TV and just watch the numbers increase. At this time, if there's any projects that you wanted to always work on, this is the time to look into it. This is a time to reconnect with family and friends. Everybody's in the same predicament. Everybody has the same worries. So it's a good time to connect and plan for the future, because you do have to have some hope and something to look forward to. So you can do things like, where would you go when the lockdown is lifted? What type of businesses would you pursue? And what kind of friendships would you like to reconnect in the physical realm? Because maybe you allow distance and time to not allow you to reach out to the family members and the friends that you've had all these years. So it's just a time to, like I said, loved one.
All right, a really devastating period, I would say, and we hope to end, the night ends very soon and quickly at that. Folashade Ogunkeyede, resident in the United States, thanks a lot for your time on the News at 7.